Welcome to DFS Insights, where the match behind the match comes to life. I am David Geislinger, and alongside me is David Grant Jr., my cousin and co-strategist. The event up on the block is UFC Fight Night Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov.
With your lineup success as our top priority, this is where David and I will briefly go over what fight matchups we think you should be considering in order to put yourself in the best position to be at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the night. We're going to break down the strategy behind our picks and share our insights to help enhance your lineup construction.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. This UFC over the weekend, 304, Bilal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards. That was just how I saw that fight going.
Yeah, well, hey, that's how Matt saw it going. So, I mean, fortunate enough, I was a little more under the field than I probably should have been. I went with more the Vegas. I should have went with the math odds there, but math turned out pretty well. I think overall we were about 8 for 14 total out of everything, so 60%. But then you remove the yellow fighters, and we were close to that 75-80%. So that's not bad. So what do we got this week?
Yeah. So this week's fight night, we got Corey Sandhagen and Umar Nurmagomedov, and Umar's, obviously Khabib's cousin, and Corey Sandhagen is a beast. So I'm pretty excited for this 5-round matchup coming up. At this high pace, I'm quite surprised here at the odds. Umar coming in at a minus 310. Corey Sandhagen coming back at about a plus 230 as of right now.
Okay.
And, I'll be targeting that fight heavily on both sides. For sure.
Let's go ahead and throw it up here on the screen here and start looking at it. So as you know, this is our little cheat sheet here, the First Insights cheat sheet. So make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Drop any kind of comments. Feed that algorithm. Get us put in front of everybody here. So, we typically do this one just to get things going, and then we do a full breakdown on Thursday where we do basically fill out the rest of the sheet and go over it. Looking here, like you mentioned, Nurmagomedov coming in as the favorite. So it looks like, up on, we have the name, salary, win odds, and then broke that down into probability. Typically, people can understand percentages more than the plus or minus odds there. So make that a little bit more user-friendly. And then my data is our math predictions, basically using the math formulas that we created. Didn't create the math formulas, but applied them to this context. Been pretty good, about anywhere from about 70-80%, and then the keynotes there: 5-round women's light heavyweight and so on. So Nurmagomedov, it looks like math has him even a little bit slightly over, coming in about 85. Clearly looking at it, be looking more at some footage there. Sandhagen has been fighting just competition after high-level competition. He's used to 5 rounds. I believe this is Nurmagomedov's first 5-round fight. So it'd be interesting to see, obviously his stamina is probably up there training with Khabib and things like that. But it'd be interesting to see how it pans out there. I have a feeling this fight will be heavily owned. So I'll probably, be looking definitely at the ownership there when I do my picks there, doing my, my lineup construction to try to get those leverages where I can. So you see any other fights you want to look? Just kind of quickly scanning here.
Just quickly going over it. Yeah, the Marlon Vera Figueiredo fight. That should be a great fight as well. Both have finishing capabilities. Figueiredo has a little bit more of a ground game, and as you can see with the math shown over there, the 63% as of right now. I'll be targeting that. Tony Ferguson's pretty washed up. It's interesting that math shows him winning.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say that's the one I was looking at, because looking at the odds at an 85%, Vegas is seeing Chiesa and then you look at math coming in at 50% for Ferguson. I'll be interested in ownership there and the leverage play that I can get off that.
Yeah, and again, if it wasn't for our math, I would have been way lower on Bilal. And when I saw that the math, confirmed a couple of things, I went 54% of my lineups had Bilal, and it paid off for me.
Yeah,
148 fantasy points, I think.
Yeah, 140, 148. So yeah, just looking at that, just things to take note. Then you got the Dern, the Mackenzie Dern versus the Godinese ones. You have, obviously Vegas favoring Dern, where math is highly favoring Loopy there. So that's another one I'll be looking at, and then moving down to yellow fighters. That yellow highlighted name basically means 3 or less fights in the UFC. So the data is slightly skewed there. So I do a little bit of extra research, like watch footage and things like that for those. But another interesting one is the Jai Herbert Badioa fight. Might be a little skewed because of the lack of data from Rolando there. So yeah, this one 8 fighters, less than 3 fights, so need to do a little bit more video watching.
Definitely, and we'll have that on the next podcast that will be dropping this Friday. So that's when we're going to be more in depth and have some more numbers updated and have our tape watch.
Yeah, so tune in next week and you'll be getting basically the full breakdown. We'll cover, the leverage plays, how we see basically the leverage panning out for this whole slate. Also covering, showing this, but also the inside the distances and the round one, the odds to go along with this. But yeah, no, this fight card looks good. Currently, it's sitting in at I think 13 fights. So. Yeah, if it stays there, that's great. 12, as we were talking about earlier, is kind of like a really sweet spot. At least it seems that way. But yeah, 13 fights. You definitely need to be targeting those round one inside the distance finishes. I know that sounds like common sense, but if you do a 10 fight card, just getting 6 wins could put you up there pretty high in the money. So, but with 13 fights, you definitely need to pick those fights inside the distance round one. So make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, so that way you tune into next week, and we're going to cover all those odds for this entire fight card. So anything else to add here?
Nope, got it. I'm just looking forward to this weekend after this past weekend of great fights, and following the math.
Yep, follow the math. There you go. Hey, 80%. That's no joke for just simple math there. So, and with that, so again, let us know what you think. Drop a comment down below. Also, put your favorite fights down there. And we'll make sure to tune in. Put some extra information out on your guys' key fights along that. We're going to mention the fights that we like. But if you guys have someone you want us to break down for you, put that in the comments. We'll make sure we hit that on the next video. So with that, good luck and tune in for the next one.